this could be very innovative. So one could travel. So this is right now under two structures. The first structure is almost like it's well defined. So the second one we'll talk about towards the end. So the first one I'm presenting here. So you have financial engineering, entrepreneurship engineering, AML, petroleum engineering. So there is another QEDM, but maybe I could have written with a red there, but we intentionally did not write because the recent maybe few senates back, so QEDM was kept in abeyance, but it is evolving. We expect more and more IDDPs which are structured will evolve. Okay. So which are the unstructured IDDPs? We'll talk towards the end. So this is the most exciting part, which is the most exciting part for all of you. At the same time, very challenging part for all of you. So what are the key features of this? So as you understand, SAIP is meant for the 4-year programs and SAPP is for those for the 5-year programs. So student can apply. So we are working on, so these are the key features only we are discussing. We are the implementation, guidelines, academic part, what are the thresholds, etc. So those are all implementation issues. So those are under deliberation and very soon you will be notified. Yes, since you are the first batch, definitely there will be some difficulties, at the same time some leverages. For example, we would like to have certain deadline for this option, but maybe since you are first batch, so since the precise guidelines are being implemented on ERP, so the deadlines could be slightly flexible. So I'm sure very soon you will be provided with the exact eligibility guidelines. So this is under SAIP, what one can. So this is 3 additional credits per semester subject to approval. So 6 additional credits because this is kept in 7th semester, right? Those who are planning to utilize, so this is at the 7th semester. So it's not that others who are staying here and doing their curricula and the students who are opting SAIP, it's completely that is off. It's not that way. So some way or the other, you have to complete the curricula. So there are some channels for that. Yeah. So what happens when you go and how one can go for SAIP? So as you know, right now we have an internship program which is during the summer, which is the mandatory internship program which we are talking. So that is during the summer, right? So which is at the end of 3rd year for 4th year and at end of 4th year for dual degree. So that is there very much as part of the curricula. But then since the SAIP is in the 7th semester, so one can tag SAIP with the two months, right? So therefore under SAIP you are getting 2 choices. One is, okay, I will go just as SAIP 7th semester. I will not link with my internship. Another one is, no, let me make use of the best. So let me tag it. So then I'll link it. So that is the 8 months. Okay. So now what is there in 7th semester? So it is equivalent to, you see, mandatory summer internship that has some credits. Then if you do not, so if you delink it, it's a 7 credits. Okay. So if you are linking, then 7 plus 2 credits, right? Now SAPP for dual degree, it's a clear replacement for the 9th semester project. Okay. Of course, there are, I'm sure by now you have a lot of questions, right? So we are not playing the cards right away. You can ask, right, your thoughts. Then only it's more interactive. So sure, you have a lot of thoughts already regarding this. Okay. Now, what happens with our two-month internship? Typically, what are the channels? Similar channels are applicable for this. So what are the channels? You see, channel 1, that is Career Development Center. I'm sure the chairman Career Development Center and the entire team will be very much loaded, right? So they will be feeling, oh God, one more, right? One more load. Yeah, definitely, it's not easy, but they are putting their best efforts. In fact, we have to formally initiate a meeting with them and work out, right? So why it's a burden? Why we are saying that? So right now, if you see the mandatory internship, let us say we have to cater to around 2,000 students, which is mandatory through CDC. We are able to meet roughly 600 students. So then what is the next channel? Institute International Relations Office. So there are several channels through our IR office. So students can utilize that. So again, here we have to have a formal meeting, understand, come up with the concrete guidelines. For a 2-year internship, of course, we had guidelines from IR office. So students have been utilizing that pathway since several years. So that's not very new, but how do we handle SAIP, SAPP through IR office? So this has to be worked out. And of course, the last one is self-arrangement. So in 2-year internship, what used to happen? Majority of the students, once the CDC channel, IR office channel is done, they arrange through their contacts, through alumni, through various means. And also there is a channel there, which is a student can do their internship in-house at IIT under a faculty. But for SAIP, that's you have to be really away from the campus, right? So anyway, these are the 3 channels. So you have to try your luck in one of those channels, right? So now, when the new curricula was implemented from 2020, for that batch alone, when it comes to the 5-year integrated programs, it was implemented. Again, the new curricula was implemented, but as 5-year integrated MSc. But then after that, we got a very interesting BS, excuse me. Yeah, so we have BS programs. So it was deliberate to put it as BS program because the admission is given to BS programs. So it was deliberate. So admission is given to 4-year BS program. So then the way Btec student can switch to dual degree, apply, provided they are eligible, etc. Similar mechanism can be adopted. So those who are interested from BS, they can also apply for MS program in the respective. Okay. So this is about new BS MS structure. Okay. So now it's this is a very, very challenging, right? So for semester away program, you said it's very exciting, but same time it is challenging. But then only that's all with this new curricula? No, there are several interesting features, but the challenge lies with you all. How each one of you will orient yourself into one of those pathways, what kind of credits you acquire using which channel. So there is a lot of cutlery available. So it's not easy, right? So you have to understand your academic units have to understand, your faculty advisor has to understand. So all of you have to converge. So that's why it's a curriculum machine. So now, how well you do it, it's up to you. Okay, I talked so much. What is there in it? First one is mandatory project cross migration. So that means it's well established. Okay, so I'm in electrical engineering. I can take a BTP from other department with a supervisor from here. So that is well established, right? Okay, but here you have pathways. You see, with SAIP, without SAIP. Now, there are replacements possible. When we say replacements, in place of the project, you have some theory subjects, right? So, dual degree also without SAPP. Okay, so you may say this is also not so exciting. It's there very much. Okay. Now there is something called additional course credits in-house channel. That means you can acquire additional course credits to meet requirements for breadth electives. Oh, what is this? It's really confusing, right? It's really confusing. What do you mean by that? You are saying in-house channel. That means truly at IIT KGP. You are at IIT KGP. Then there are specific channels. The guidelines will be provided to you. Along those channels, you are acquiring something here, right? Then can I say, okay, sir, I have done this, I have done this. Now I would like to claim this particular breadth elective in place of this breadth elective, I have done this. So can you give me a offset, right? It's a kind of credit transfer. So an in-house channel, you're doing something additional. So then you would like to claim, but there are some restrictions on the credits, etc. As I mentioned, we are still, it's evolving, right? It's a challenge. Okay. So this is one really exciting channel. So then additional project credits. So this is also, so that means it's not only you can do via in-house channel, you can claim some of the breadth subjects, also additional projects you can claim. For example, say you have taken a micro credit. So then some of the project credits for micro, so those can be claimed from the additional project credits. Okay. So these are very new features of this new curriculum. But then academic units and you have to work together. See, these are not like typical bookish type guidelines. It's not like that. So you have to really understand, and then academic unit has to review, okay, look good, this looks good. So now this is recognized. So these kind of things. So the generic guidelines will be prepared and will be circulated by the academic section. But then the majority of the responsibility lies with you all, because with an anticipation, you will land up into trouble. So we have to be careful. Therefore, teachers also have to be educated. The faculty advisor has to be educated, right? Maybe on a new curricula, a similar session is required for faculty advisors. I'm not sure. I'm sorry for this is just, you can take it as a joke, but I did not mean it really, but okay. So now this is another thing, the new curricula indicated. So there is something called PP and IR, professional practice, innovation and research. Okay. So this is very, very new. This has to be really understood, but at the same time, all of us, okay, the entire academic body, everybody deliberated. This is not something which you hard code. It's you have to feel it. Like generally when a student joins through various friends, etc., we get a call. whether which branch is good, this, that. After joining also they ask questions. The first question I asked to them, what you would like to do after your 4 year of study? So there is no answer. 90% of them, there is no answer. 90%. So that's where this is in your heart. This is not hard-coded. This you have to take it into your heart and feel it. Okay, where I am going? Am I going in a PP pathway or am I going in IR pathway? Accordingly, you try to choose your subjects and identify yourself clearly in your mind. Okay, this is my target. This is my target. Okay. Of course, if you do not, then there are ways you can maybe switch over. But again, this is not, you have to feel it. You have to choose the curricula in that way, in that fashion. Feel it. Yes, I'm aiming for innovation research. Therefore, I want to have my career like this. Okay. So these are really something exciting. The IDDP, which is not structured, I said we'll come back to that, right? So one IDDP which is structured, which was shown. Now, what is that IDDP which is not structured in the sense? See, you are right now, you are a Btec student in electrical engineering. So then if you want to opt for a dual degree, natural choice is electrical engineering, right? Means the guidelines, rules, regulations do not allow that I can get a dual degree in mathematics, right? So similarly, say a BS student in mathematics, if a student would like to go for MS in mathematics, maths and computing program. But so there is a little unstructured channel, which is, it's a really exciting IDDP. What is this? The new curricula is also talks about so-called cross-migration, interdisciplinary migration. That means a BS student with a MTech in another department, right? So a BTech student from electrical engineering, MS in maths and computing. So this is little at a very, very elementary stage. Okay, but this is part of the curricula. So maybe by the time you come to final year, etc., maybe these will be little structured. So this is the summary of the key features of the new curricula. I hope I was not fast, so that you got something and you have got enough questions. So with this, I think maybe we can invite you all here, and we are ready to take the questions, unless if my colleagues would like to add anything further. Okay, so please. I think before we take the questions, I would request Professor Siddharth Mukhopadhyay, Chairman Curricula, to highlight the key features, etc., about the new curricula. Okay, please. Not in the sense, the thought, the philosophy. Okay, why I did it like this? Before this, if he expresses his thoughts, I think you won't be able to connect. So now you can correlate what he's kindly said.
Yeah, good evening. Really fills your heart to see you all on the eve of Holi. Yeah, so I know you are, I mean, the main feature is the Q&A. I don't want to take much time. I'm very happy that, you know, I mean, a curriculum design is a very exciting process through which we have gone. It's a fantastic debate that has taken place across the institute. And very, I mean, it's a great experience. But all this happens when the program goes on air, when people take it and feel good about it. So that has started. This program is that, and that's what's great. So, I mean, the one thing only I will tell you that while designing this program, we had the student right in the front. It's about the student. So we tried to ensure that it's future-proof. It enhances leadership. It gives you an experience. It's not limited. Your learning will not be limited by my limitations. So we tried to bring all these things, and it's now up to you, and I'm sure you will do it. So there are enormous amount of possibilities. And we also try to see that, you see, students are driven. Students are inspired. So they will, I mean, after doing class up to 5 o'clock, they will have something in the mess, and then they will come back to their society to again do something. So we have tried that all this effort does not remain as 2 lines in your CV. It actually happens, it will be actually visible in your transcript. So it inspires you to exert. There's a huge amount of learning that can actually take place outside the classroom. So all these were, our driving thoughts, and there is an enormous amount of possibility. So go ahead and take it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. I am Rudransh Gupta. Thank you, professors. Your insights and thoughts on the new curriculum must have helped the student community at IIT Kharagpur for the better understanding of the motivation behind it. We request students who have joined on MS Teams to post their questions in the chat box. We have circulated a form among the second-year undergraduate students, and here are some of the most commonly asked queries. First up, we have, is it necessary that the Semester Away project program should be in one's department only?
So is it that the Semester Away program should be in one's department only?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So over to Professor Ram Gopal.
You were asking about Semester Away project program or internship program?
So Semester Away project program.
Project program is actually replacing the MTech project.
Can you check? Put it on. Yeah.
So it's in place of an MTech program, right? MTech project. So it is better because it will be evaluated in place of an MTech project. So ideally, it will be better if it is related to the department.
No, in the department you're asking. This is not true at IIT KGP. You are away from the campus. So there is no question of you're doing Semester Away program in the next department. That's what your question, right?
Yes, sir.
No. I'm sorry, I didn't get your question. I thought
whether in the same department only.
Yeah,
sir, let me repeat the question. So the question is it necessary that the Semester Away project program should be in one's particular department only?
Yeah, you mean to say that he's going somewhere? Suppose a student of electrical engineering, right? He would like to do Semester Away project program in some other university, right? Whether it should be in electrical or it can be anything. That's what your question is.
Yes,
right?
sir. That's the question.
So, this is to some extent it lies with the department, but I feel that it should be relevant to the program, right? Okay, so the relevance is important, and depending upon what statement of purpose that the student is submitting, okay, the unit will have a look at that, and if they feel that it is relevant, then electrical to electronics or electrical, that is possible. Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Next up, we have, does SAIP increase the duration of the Btec course?
See, if somebody is opting for SAIP, right, in 7th semester, he is supposed to do 4 electives and the project, right? So SAIP is replacing the project and 1 elective. So the remaining 3 electives, he has to complete, right? So if you could complete it by taking some extra electives in 5th semester, 6th semester, etc., then he need not stay. He can complete in 4 years, right? So it depends on how he plans. Okay, and when they apply for SAIP, we are asking them to submit the course completion plan. Right, so the students have to plan and then they have to submit the course completion plan. And if they are intelligent, then they'll complete everything in 4 years. Right.
Can I add? So repeatedly, I mentioned, right, it is challenging, blah, blah, precisely for this reason. Because when I opt for SAIP, so then naturally the 7th semester subjects, I have to give the course completion plan, one maybe in 5th semester, one in 6th semester, and maybe another left out 8th semester. Suppose due to some reason you cannot handle, then naturally those on SAIP, they have to complete those. So it will shoot up. So that is natural. So therefore, you have to be very cautious. You have to give your course completion plan, which is doable. That's the challenge, right? And there is obviously there is an added star. What is that? On SAP, you are getting some compensations. Maybe we do not know. Maybe few remote cases. Suppose something goes wrong, right? So then definitely that is null and void. So again, it will shoot up. I hope you got it. So you have to be little cautious. Okay.
Yeah, may I add something here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would like to just add this one. Like we all are familiar with the term backlog, right? This SAIP, I would like to call it front log. Backlog means you have a log, a heavy log, which you have to pull with a rope or something like that. That means you have to take the tension. Okay. Whereas this is a front log. That means, as Professor Rajshekhar rightly pointed out, so there are these extra, that is 4 or 5 courses, okay, which you need to complete. But at the same time, you should not stretch your program beyond the this one. That is a 4-year Btec. So in that case, that means instead of taking it as a backlog, you have to take it as a front log. So through the course completion plan, which has to be doable. So in that case, it is a S1 means, so instead of pulling, you are pushing. So therefore, it requires a lot of planning. And so the thing is, in addition to that, say as a student, so one of your friend is trying to that is S1 trying to push you to be more active in maybe dramatics. The other one may be trying to push you to be more active through robotics, or some are maybe trying to push you to be more active in cricket or whatever. So you should overcome all these things. At the same time, you should complete your the additional these 4 S1. Like say, if you do it like say one course, first of all, you should not have backlogs. That is one thing. And then secondly, you should have you should plan it so well that in the 5th semester, you will do 1 extra course. In the 6th semester, you will do one extra course. In the 7th semester, you will do 1 extra course. And lastly, in the 8th semester, something like that. Yeah, not in the 7th semester, 5th, 6th and 8th semester. So that way you complete it, so that only then when you show that much of responsibility, only then you will be able to do it without this one. Otherwise, so there is every possibility that you may, that is spill over beyond the regular duration of your program, 4-year Btec program. That's
All right. Thank you, sir. Next question that we have is, will the CDC timeline be affected by the Semester Away Internship Program?
What is the question again, please?
Will the CDC timeline be affected by the Semester Away Internship Program?
Okay. So over to Professor Rajkumar.
Yeah, this is a very good question. So if you are doing in inside the country, okay, you need to come for actually the semester phase 1 of placement, because the placement is actually always fixed on December 1st. So the timeline is well advanced, you know that. So that time you need to come here, because anyhow you are coming and reporting that institute at the end of the semester. So that way it will be not a big problem if you are coming actually few days before that. However, there are tests and other things are there. There are some technical difficulty. So if a semester away program for international organization you are going, that means you are not actually waiting for the companies and going for a job in India. That is right. So that way, it is not going to affect majority of students going for SAP outside the country. They will be trying for higher studies or going for some other mission placements.
So may I add, yes, as I said, it's a good question. In a typical 2-month summer intern, what is happening? I mean, you have not experienced, your seniors. They are back. When they are back, typically those who are abroad, suppose the semester starts from, say, 27th of July. Some of our friends will book a flight on 5th of August. Okay? So they will say, I have due to some reason, and apply for late registration, right? It's open house, huh? So I'm just a little informal. Don't freeze and then, okay. So now these friends are, why they could take that liberty? This is being evaluated in the next semester, okay? You're on summer intern, you're coming, then it is being evaluated in the next semester and it will be reflected in the grade of that next semester. But here, SAIP, you are left with only one semester. So the timeline, CDC timelines regarding to placements, but there is another timeline. So you have to come before so that it is evaluated and your 8th semester slate is clean. Okay. So there are related timeline issues which you will be notified. Hope you got it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Now we would move on to the section where we have collected questions from our online audience through MS Teams chat box, and I would request our esteemed panelists to answer them. Over to you, Arslan.
Thank you, Rudransh. So the first question from the MS Team audience is, what about students who are currently in 4 year but wants to go ahead with 5 years? Will it be SAIP or SAPP?
4-year student would like to go for?
Who would like to convert to 5-year course? Will it be
okay.
SAIP?
Yeah, please, Professor.
Yeah, in that case, it will be SAPP.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So the next question is, could there be some flexibility of selection in the depth elective also?
The depth elective?
Yes.
You have a list of bucket of subjects listed.
Yes.
So let us say depth elective 2. So an academic unit gives a 10 list. You can choose one of those. So that's typical selection. That's what you meant, right?
Yes.
Yeah, depth elective, it's not frozen, one particular subject. Your list of 10 subjects are given, you have to choose because depth elective 2, under 2, let us say 10 subjects are listed, you will choose one of those. So there is a flexibility in that sense.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So moving on to the next question. Can we do course earlier but not take SAIP?
Okay, very good question, right? So I think we have not yet traveled. So maybe it will take a few more batches, maybe 2022. So maybe 2032, this kind of concept might be there in the next version of the curricula. But right now, it's not there. Maybe it's being discussed wide at wider platforms, informally, formally. So right now, no.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So the last.
So it is precisely you want to complete, right? Without going SAP, I want to complete the course.
Complete the upcoming semester.
No. Okay, you can take some other additionals, but not 7th semester. You cannot claim I will do 7th semester subjects before without going for SAIP. No. You can take as a routine additionals with respect to criteria met. You can take as additional, which is there now also. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is, if a student enroll in Btec in different specialization.
Sir, you just relax, aram se.
Yes, sir.
You read your question.
Yeah. So if a student is enrolled in Btec in different specialization, but wants to switch the specialization, will he be allowed?
MTech.
Yeah, he is enrolled in different specialization of MTech dual degree course, but now he wants to, like, suppose he's enrolled in chemical department MTech specialization.
Dual degree.
Yeah. But now he wants to switch it to the CSE department. Will it be allowed?
No, unfortunately, dual degree programs are hard-coded, not yet. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Now I think most of the doubts from the MS teams are covered. Moving back to you, Rudransh.
Thank you, Aslan. Now we open this session for the live audience present here for any questions that they have in mind. Hence, I request our panelists to provide their insights for the same. Audience, don't hesitate to ask your questions. Please feel free to ask any queries that you have in your head.
If a Btec student wants to convert to dual degree, till when can he decide that? What is the deadline for that decision?
A Btec student would like to convert to dual degree. So when can, Professor Datta, please.
I think in the third and fourth semester, third semester only he has to notify.
No, sixth semester they have to close. Okay. So for dual degree conversion,
Yes.
sixth. Yeah.
Is it at the end of the sixth semester?
Yes.
So in one of the slides you mentioned about additional project credits and you showed us some channels regarding that. So one of there, it was mentioned about national and international competitions. So like, is there a specified list of some competitions that will be like counted for additional credits, or like any of the competitions we take part in and we can apply for additional project credits?
Yeah, over to Professor Upadhyay.
Yeah, so the idea is that the work that you are doing must be substantial to get this benefit. So one has to actually make a proposal on the competition and I mean the team that will be I mean what is the project that you are trying to do, and then based on that proposal on a case-to-case basis, I mean decision will be taken. So we cannot freeze the list of competitions now, because I mean they can be announced later also, right? So it's kept flexible. If you want to do it, you have to make a proposal, and then some body will actually evaluate that. Right.
You also mentioned that there was some. Just a second. So I actually forgot my question. Just a second.
So Professor Mukhopadhyay has answered precisely. That's why you can recall later, no problem. Yeah, please.
Good evening, panelists and everyone present here. Sir, you mentioned a slide regarding PP and IR. So can you elaborate on that slide? What was it? Professional and innovation research slide?
Okay, again to Professor Mukhopadhyay.
Yeah, so the thought was that there are, I mean, people want to flourish in many ways. So there are people who want to go deep into their programs. So somebody is in mechanical engineering, wants to go deep into it, probably wants to do research, probably wants to go for an academic career. So for such students, we sort of envisage that they would like to get them exposed into the depth electives which are directly related to their major program. They would also like to do projects which are innovation research oriented projects. So they may So for their SAIP, they may actually go to some national or international laboratory probably. While on the other hand, those who would opt for professional practice, they want to build their career in the industry. So their competency spectrum probably will be a little broader. They may like to build, apart from building their competency in their engineering disciplines, they may also like to build some competency, let us say in the management disciplines, maybe in finance, right? So they would probably like to do their SAIP in an industrial organization or a professional organization rather than a research organization. So these are as Professor Rajeshekar said, that it's kept, previously what used to happen is the students sometimes chart their path through the program in somewhat haphazard manner. So this is an approach to get your thoughts structured. So it helps you to understand what is it that you want to do, where is it that you are going to put your effort. So it's just likely to focus you into your thoughts. If at some point of time you would like to change your course, you can do that. That's not a problem. So this is, I mean, it's more to help students build a very, a coherent set of competencies which will help their future career paths. That's it. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I want to also just make a comment here. See, this is very important what Professor Mukhopadhyay was explaining about planning. Because you know that if you are choosing professional practice pathway, then you have to do 5 breadth and 5 depth. If you are choosing innovation and research pathway, you have to do 3 breadth and 7 depth. Suppose you did 4 breadth and 6 depth. What happens? You do not get your degree. So you have to be very careful about this thing.
So who will cover the expenses for all this, like SAIP and SAPP?
Okay. Suppose you're talking about SAIP, etc. Right? So it's well understood. Suppose you're getting SAIP program through IR office, through some MOU established, etc. So as per the MOU, it happens. Suppose a student applies independently, the university is paying, and otherwise student arranges on their own, even through CDC also. So if they offer, let us say, the living expenses, etc., and travel to the students, multiple combinations. And finally, the worst combination is like I'm going for SAIP. Somebody has agreed, some industry or a university, own expenses. So institute has no role in finance. As far as finance is concerned, institute has no role with regard to SAIP, SAPP programs. Please.
But I expect the picture to be quite more positive than that. Yeah. You see, this is something that I have personally experienced, that when you go to an industry, if you are going for 8 weeks, the industry does not benefit much from your presence. Although you are an extremely bright individual, you have got quite a bit of, at least fundamental competencies in your area of engineering after the 6th semester. The industry does not get much benefit of your presence precisely because your stay is small. So they first have to train you in their ways, they have to admit you, and by the time you start doing something for them, it is time to leave. So when you have a 6 months or 8 months presence in the industry is very interested in you. Because the industry, for 2 reasons. First reason is that the industry can get something done. You are hugely bright, they actually recognize that. That's number one. Number two is that they see in you a potential future employee. So they are very interested, and I think that that's what my hope is, that a lot of industries will actually offer financial assistance for that program. That's what we envisage will happen. Right.
We can also request Professor Rajkumar to respond.
Yeah, this is very interesting because actually there are some precedents. We have seen a list of companies I was going through in CTC. A lot of good companies like Apex View, Amazon, GE. We can see the GE Global, and I could be able to see that Qualcomm recently came last year for 6-month internship program, and also Siemens, AMD, Robert Bosch. There are many companies, even Honeywell. They're all telling that only 2 months means the typical projects they are giving, right? When they are telling that they are ready to pay, even they ask that some of them want to join immediately for 6 months or 5 months internship, they love to give that. So the opportunity was available earlier before the NEP or our new curricula. So this was available for only MTech students as part of their MTP program. If there is a MTP compatibility, the department will give that consent, then we will talk to the company. Now it is opening for all the UG. So it's an opportunity. I see that the companies will try to test you on their site, and you are going to get a hands-on experience. That is a win-win situation. Many times you will be getting PPO. Okay, that is called a pre-placement offer without interview. You understand? You are doing some internship, then you are coming home, and they send the results back, and you are selected for our company. Then you can take an option. So sometimes what happens, the company is giving very extraordinary training to you, but you are coming back with the credits. You are writing in your CV, so-and-so company, I did this much. Even maybe it's not a top company in the world, but the work what you have done may be suitable for a company like Google or Microsoft or someone else. So they may be telling training cost is now, international training cost is already saved. So you are ready to hire on the international sites. So this is, I am seeing as an opportunity. So the fund, if you ask me, there are many companies. I can see the internship, even you know that 2-month internship, up to 2 lakhs students can get. Minimum they are giving 25-30,000 per month. Sometimes 2 lakhs package is coming for a 2-month internship for bright candidates. They are making it with the big companies. Now you understand that if they want to hire you at abroad, they may take the cost for sending you, or they want to take it somewhere, all the cost may be. So immediately it may or may not occur, mixed situation. Once we started and making publicity of this program, company will orient themselves. They want to catch that actually the creamy layer of students or bright students coming from KGP, they want to lock them. So this is the idea. First of all, job competition is more across the country, you know that. So now we have to make a smarter vision. So I thank that new curriculum committee paved a way for us to exhibit our chances. Semester away, you always take that it is not just doing something. Like Professor Mukhabadi also told, Professor Ram Gopal also, it should be fitting to your career path. It should not be something I want to do in some university it is available. It should fit with your taste or your career dream, so that it is going to fetch the job on the dream career. Otherwise, what will happen? Job and career is different. Please understand that. Somebody getting job is different. Somebody is getting a dream job or career started in a particular field. That is different. So I wish that this should give opportunity to us or to KGP students to start their career in the right track. Okay. So I hope I could able to say a few words actually related to this thing. Thank you.
Yeah. In fact, more and more companies are asking. I mean, we need UG students for longer period. So that was typical case, in fact. So I'm sure those companies will now come forward. So as Professor Rajkumar mentioned, I think CDC will definitely advertise. You have to also take part through your peers. So then I think it's as they rightly said, it's going to be a win-win situation. Many financial things will be taken care, I'm sure, by these companies.
All right, audience, do we have any more questions?
So as you mentioned that for SAIP or SAPP, we had a channel through CDC. So when will exactly the applications, like when will CDC be starting the applications? I mean, some tentative timeline would be helpful.
Maybe first Professor Ramgopal.
See, under SAIP, if you want to go for SAIP and you have an opportunity of taking extra subjects from 5th semester onwards, right? So that means the application, the preliminary application will have to happen before that. Okay, so we are working out on that and how to handle this and through ERP, etc. So soon you'll get a notification. Okay, but whatever it is, it will be done before 5th semester registration. Okay, so you can register for an extra subject in 5th semester, right?
So my next question was like...
you can just wait. So Professor Rajkumar can also add
so
on.
one thing I want to add you, never ever get misunderstood that actually this is 2-month internship, 8-week internship is entirely different, 2 credit mandatory going out. Okay, that should not be mixed. You are not supposed to commit to the company. Company will not going to commit because of the 2 months they are going to give a 6-month internship. So this is entirely 2 different program, 2 different kind of that is what we are not putting all together like a from summer 1 more semester you are away, nothing like that. So it's an option. Please understand, 2-month internship, 8-week internship, everybody is applying and going. And this one application is given, it will be screened to the department, ERP, some model will be created, academic heads, faculty advisor, dean, everybody having a role to screen those applications because you have to satisfy that prerequisites. Once you satisfy the prerequisites, you are eligible for this program. But there is no commitment with the company with the same thing. That will be separate application. So in that way, it will not affect your summer internship. Whether you are getting that 6 month or not, summer internship should be independent. But there is an opportunity to club. In fact, the company want to give you additional internship. So you can able to club. So this is what that main idea. So, but the modality, I am telling that even we are new, right? We are also working out. The company will give feedback. Academic faculties will give us some feedback. We will fine tune it. But the idea is, it is 2 months you are going anywhere. That this is SAIP is one more option for you. If you are unable to make it, no issue. That is alternate ways. Academic, you can go to academic institutions and to do with other IITs or other organizations. You can able to do that. The remaining part that you have to keep in mind. Okay, thank you.
Yes. So my next question was like, what exactly was the difference between SAIP and SAPP? Like till I'm understood, like what SAIP is for the Btec students can be considered as SAPP for the dual degree students, or is there any other demarcation also between the two?
Would like to, Professor Ramgopal.
See, SAPP is for dual degree students, which they undergo in 9th semester. So normally 9th semester they have a MTech project, right? So SAPP is replacing the project. Okay. Whereas SAIP is for 4-year students. Okay. And it is in place of the 4 credit project and 1 additional depth subject. Okay. But in that semester there are other 3 more electives they have to do. Okay. So that they'll be doing some in some other semesters. But whereas SAPP, in that semester only project is there, right? And some 2 additional credits, 2 additional subjects for SAPP, they have to cover in 8th semester, 10th semester like that. Okay. So this is in place of 1 project, but this is in place of project plus 1 elective, right? And the application times, etc. are different. SAIP, they'll be applying in 5th or 4th semester. These people will be applying in 6th semester like that, right?
Would like to, yeah, Professor Mukhopadhyay.
So you see, you have to first realize that the dual degree program is already a very compressed program. You see, you are getting 2 degrees in 1 year less. And if you have seen the MTech program, in the MTech program, the MTech project has an extremely important place. For the MTech 2-year MTech program, it is 40 credits. Almost half of the total MTech program. In the dual degree program, it is 25 credits, of which the 9th semester is 12 credits. So the first fundamental difference is that the SAPP program must be linked to the project, and the project continues into the 10th semester. There is a project supervisor. So while you are encouraged to formulate projects with other organizations, maybe industrial or maybe research, the faculty supervisor and the department has to find it, commensurate with the requirements of the degree. So that is a big difference. In SAIP also you are doing one project, but that's just 4 credits, right? So here there is a rider. It cannot be unrelated to your master's project. Right. Thank you.
So the last question was that, at the beginning of the session, you mentioned about the formal document that was formulated. So does students have access to that?
Can you speak a little slow?
Sir, at the beginning of the session, you mentioned about the new curricular document. So, can we students access that document? So, where we can find that document?
Okay, so the new curricular document will be circulated. So it's under preparation. It will be circulated. Yeah. Yeah. No, actually, the third year and beyond. So that structure will be approved. So once that is done, the complete curricula will be, will be on the website.
Sir, my question was the SAIP registration, the thing happens in the end of 4th semester, right? So if a person is granted an SAIP and then he is also shifts from Btec or a 4-year program to 5-year program, can you also opt for an SAPP? Or once the SAIP is done, you cannot opt for an SAPP?
Okay, good question. Okay.
See, all these things, if somebody opts for a dual degree, then he is not eligible for SAIP. Okay, so then he has to forego SAIP, and he has to, if he is interested and if he is eligible, then he can opt for SAPP. Okay.
Sir, but for example, he is granted an SAIP, but then he decides that no, I want to do a dual degree. So then he will not be granted an SAPP, right?
No, you continue.
No, he is granted, but he'll be applying for dual degree. I mean, these things don't happen independently. Okay, and SAIP will be going in 7th semester. Right? Before that, if he has opted for dual degree, etc., he can drop SAIP plan. Okay, one benefit is he would have completed some additional electives, so that benefit he gets. Okay, suppose he plans to switch. Okay, and in 7th semester he'll be doing fewer courses because he already completed some of the electives earlier. But both are not possible. SAIP plus SAPP, that is not allowed. Okay, either one.
So both are not allowed. It's exclusive. Either one of them, right?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Professor Mukhopadhyay will add.
It is clear why it is not possible. You see, again, how do you do an MTech in 1 year less? Because your program is telescoped. So you start doing your MTech courses in a dual degree program right from the 7th semester. So therefore, you will have to complete the MTech core courses. You start taking these MTech core courses, and they also double as some of your Btech electives. So if you go away on the 7th semester, then you won't be able to do all those MTech core courses. Right? So it cannot be made completely free. So I mean, it is therefore that you cannot do an SAIP and an SAPP both.
And also some of the guidelines will be, the calendar of events will ensure certain guidelines, okay, in this regard.
Right, audience, do we have any more questions?
What is the time now? Yeah. So IDDP, I think there are a little more details from Professor Datta, please.
Yeah, actually, that time somebody was asking for dual degree. I was told 2nd year. So that is for IDDP. Actually, you have to plan from 2nd year, because most of the current IDDPs have some prerequisite subject assigned in the 2nd year. So unless you plan from the 2nd year, for that IDDP, which is interdisciplinary dual degree switchover, you won't be able to, complete the switchover. So that's why it is better to plan from the second year, that is from the third semester itself, if you want to switch to IDDP. That means departmental dual degree, if you want to switch, you can plan later, okay? 6th semester, 5th semester, that is fine. But for IDDP, you need to plan it from third semester itself, second year. Because third semester, you have prerequisites, and also 4th semester, you have prerequisites for the current IDDPs. Okay, thank you.
So maybe, Professor Dey, regarding BS a little bit more. No, but if you'd like to add anything on the BSMS, no, nothing. Professor Jayant Mukhopadhyay, any? So I think no questions.
One question that we have.
We have one more question from our MS team audience. The student just want to clarify that for student wants to clarify for SAIP, do we have to take those courses of the 7th semester as additional, or will there be an elective channel in 5th, 5th, 6th, and 8th semester?
So 7th semester, they are electives indeed. So you have to, so let us say 7th semester elective list will be available in odd semesters, right?
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
So yeah, it has to be worked out that way. So 5th semester, and then some 6th and 8th are available. So the list of electives has to be, these are like say breadth elective. So breadth elective can be anything from the list, right? Which is not in the list. Let me put it that way. Breadth elective means what? So any subject which is not listed in the department depth elective.
Exactly.
Right? So students can take. So that's where the course completion plan. So student cannot say even semester elective, I will take it in 5th semester. So you look at the 5th semester electives and propose one of those in your course completion plan. Okay, I will take 5th semester this one, 6th semester this one, 8th semester this one. So that is the course completion plan.
Okay. It means they are allowed to take it as a breadth elective and additional.
Yeah, it's an additional they have to take, no? So you would like to add, Professor? Yeah.
Actually, that 6th semester, he has to take in 6th semester
there.
as well. Not only 5th semester, so that provision will be there, such that those electives can be completed as even semester electives also. That provision will be there, for those who are going for SAIP.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Let me see, suppose I fulfill all the criteria of CGPA, etc., right? So my 6th semester, I have 22 credits, let me say.
Okay.
Now in my course completion plan, I have to say, apart from 22 credits, I am proposing another 3 credit breadth elective, so and so. You have to mandatorily do that. Why? Because it is supposed to be done in 7th semester. So you have to include in 5th semester and then complete in 5th. Then let us say in 6th semester you have your curricula, which is let us say some 24 credits. Now this has to be additionally taken, another breadth elective, and complete, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the guidelines will speak about if I take in 5th one, in 6th another one, do not complete, what happens? Those guidelines will follow what happens, right? Okay.
Okay. I think that
it is additional means additional to that semester, but mandatory to avail SAIP.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Moving to you, Rudransh.
All right. Thank you, professors, for clearing out the doubts. So this brings us to the end of the discussion. Now I would like to invite Mr. SSS Vardhan, Coordinator International Relations Cell, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Rudransh. It has been a great evening where we all got our doubts cleared about the changes in the new curriculum and several opportunities that are available for us. Thank you, esteemed panel, professors, and the committee of the new curriculum for joining us and clearing our doubts. Thank you, Dr. Gopal Sinha, Deputy Registrar, Mr. Shantanu Das, Assistant Register Undergraduate, Mr. Rishi Sirohi, Assistant Register Postgraduate. Thank you to the Professor Jayanta Mukhopadhyay, Dean Outreach, Professor Gautam Chakraborty, Associate Dean, International Relations and Ranking, the Office of International Relations, especially Olivia ma'am and Kaushiki ma'am. It is under your supervision that guided us for the successful conduction of the event, and also Ritu ma'am. And finally, thank you for the students that are present here who maintained the decorum of the event and demonstrated the true spirit of KGP in discipline and formality. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Professor.
Professors, it's a humble request to please wait for the group photographs. Yep. The students may disperse. Accordingly, the volunteers will guide you through the exits.